Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Some technical difficulties, couldn't go live on the one that we scheduled, but I hope you did not miss this notification from Facebook. So today I actually have Kevin here with me. Okay, for those of you
Hi everybody.
know him, we used to do a lot of videos, I think 2018, 2019, then we got busy, right? But I've invited him back here again, so we're going to discuss about Facebook advertising. Okay, so if you're new to this channel and you're new here, I'm Charmaine, founder and Chief Digital Marketing Officer at Sky Digital Agency. And here with me today is Kevin from Hitch Marketing. We're going to talk about Facebook Advertising 101, our top tips actually. If you're here, just drop and say hi in the comment section so that we know you're here, and we'll look out for the notification for your comments or questions, if any, okay? But at the end of this session, we'll actually be taking your questions. Kevin, anything to add about your introduction?
Thank you for actually inviting me today. Hello everybody, my name is Kevin and I'm from Hitch Marketing. So we actually serve local SMEs in Singapore to help them run their digital marketing effort, mainly through Facebook advertising, in order to help them to grow their business. Feel free to ask me any questions regarding Facebook marketing. Let's see how we go from there.
And one of the things why I thought Kevin would be a good fit, because he runs quite a lot of ads for his clients at Hitch Marketing as well. Okay, so over the years, I think that's something that he has been doing. So just a quick introduction. Okay, so we've allocated about an hour. We hope to be on time on this. Very quick overview. This is the overview of the topic today. We have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we'll have Q&A time. Okay, with both of us. Okay, we have allocated 10 to 15 minutes for Q&A. Hopefully, we are able to answer all your questions. All right, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for just coming in on our live. Okay, now the first topic actually is about the benefits of Facebook advertising. So before I share, maybe I'll just get Kevin to give his inputs on what does he think of the benefits of Facebook advertising on his end.
Well, I think running Facebook advertising, the most miracle thing for me is like you get to reach out to this specific group of audience and you get to test, advertising is a lot on like finding the smallest viable audience that is suited for your product or services. So you get to like test, like say, hey, is my target really like moms or working adults? Is it female or female? What are their interests and what are their habits like? So it's quite amazing like how through Facebook advertising we actually get to know which are the smallest viable audience that are interested in our product or services. Yeah, correct.
Right.
That's my favorite thing.
Yeah. So I think one thing about testing is definitely something that is what I say a cheap way to make mistakes. But I think at the end of the day, most business owners would know who their audience is, and it's a validation, right? When you advertise, it's a validation whether or not they actually respond, and whether you are attracting this group of people, or whether they even think your ads are attractive enough, and so on, right? But some other benefits I think would also be that the audience on Facebook is actually quite wide, 25 years old to about 55, 60 years old, actively using Facebook nowadays, especially with our COVID-19. And besides using Facebook daily, I think we are able to do targeted advertising, right? Even for F&B owners, because I conduct quite a bit of trainings for F&B with one of the authorized training organizations in Singapore, experience. So F&B owners, I always tell them like, just make your best guess who would be interested, right? And one of the things like the biggest, or rather not biggest, but I post, Dr. Leslie has a following of greater than 300,000, and we can actually retarget its audience. So that's the beauty of advertising is not only that we are able to test it cheap, but it's actually accurate demographic testing, right? And I call it cheap brand awareness, actually.
Yeah.
Anything else to add, Kevin, about benefits of Facebook advertising?
Well, I guess there's tons of benefit to share, but
Maybe one more. Maybe one.
yeah, I guess being able to reach out to the masses, to tons of audience, and at the lowest cost possible, and also getting to understand your audience, how they feel about your product or services, or even your ad, your copywriting and stuff like that. You will basically you are able to find out that what makes your audience tick, what kind of promotions that they are interested in, and through that you can give the greatest value to them. And it's really interesting to be doing this on a day-to-day basis, for me at least.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let's move on to the next topic that I've kind of outlined for us today, right? And it's cost of advertising on newspaper versus radio. So we can take the first one and then we can compare it to social media. So what do you think of the cost of advertising on newspaper and radio today? Because I took a screenshot. I visited SPH website. As you all know, you can actually look for this. They have a price chart, but I think it's quite difficult to compare. So what I did was I filled in some of the details. Okay, they have quite a number of papers, but I chose the Straits Times. Partly because I think most of us know the Straits Times, and it's probably a more accurate newspaper compared to the others. Okay, and I selected the smallest, 3 cm by 1 column. Okay, and upcoming weekend. Okay, and you'll be surprised actually there's no difference whether or not in fact weekdays is more expensive than weekends. So for newspaper, so this was the price that one color. Okay, if I'm not wrong, I chose one color, one spot color here. Okay, and it adds up, so became $8,478.
Wow.
Yeah. And for radio, actually, it's relatively cheap, but it's only a 30-second commercial. Okay. Of course, we can discuss what are our takes on radio. And I think one thing about newspaper is people are reading news digitally today, online, on social for their news. Secondly, I think for radio, very difficult for call to action to me. That's my point,
Yeah.
or rather my take, that it's quite difficult to actually, wow, the number that they say, or 655, whatever. Wow, so difficult
Yeah.
to remember. And I think it's a bit difficult to have a call to action. But it's definitely a great brand awareness, I would say. I'm surprised that it's not expensive. In fact, I'm very
Yeah.
surprised that it's not expensive. And it's only like for 60 seconds, right? It's only times 1.5 of the cost. Okay,
Correct.
but
I
it's
think
only at 30 seconds.
yeah, I think the price is dropping is also because of the competitiveness of the industry. Like, people are moving online. So I guess in order to attract more people to use radio advertisement, they probably have like dropped the price. It's not as lucrative as before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's just a 30 seconds reading and it costs a few $100s. I think they do like
true.
quite a number of ads a day, right? So
Yeah.
so what are your takes on the cost of advertising for newspaper, radio versus social media advertising? I mean, I took two screenshots from our own ads just to show you or everyone tuning in live, the cost, or rather the amount of
Wow.
money you really just need to part with to kind of test and see how it's performing, right? And one of the things that I think Kevin and myself, we mentioned earlier, is testing. Even if you have two videos, how is it going to perform? So you can always use like a very small budget to test. And with this, you can see that my cost per true play actually is much, much higher on this video ad compared to this. A true play is a 15-second view on Facebook and Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So those are my thoughts. I think in terms of affordability, and with $400 radio advertising, you could,
It's definitely cheaper
yeah,
than radio.
yeah. And of course, they would like to say that they have 100,000 people who tune in their radio lah. So that's basically their point of advertising. But what do you think? What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, I guess one story I have to share about like the radio advertising is that recently, like, on the way to work, so I was in the car and I was listening to 98.7 FM, and it's quite interesting to hear the radio. They actually runs a advertisement. Is that MediaCorp basically has a course for social media marketer, and they say, come down and learn social media marketing from MediaCorp. I'm actually doing promotion for them free right now, right? Interesting thing is that they use radio advertisement to try to promote social media marketing. It's quite irony, like how this goes. If you want to promote like social media marketing, I guess maybe at least try to stick to that channel. But I think radio still works. If today, but if it depends on the budget. Like most of the clients that I serve, they can have a very very small budget, which we understand because SMEs, is really not easy. Every single dollar count. And if you're not spending that dollar for your customers, I don't think it's worthwhile to just to spend that money away. Being a business owners, myself, I personally feel this way. And so I have a client of mine, like basically an ID firm. And last year alone in 2019, they spent about $300,000
Mm,
on advertising. So they actually place half the amount on traditional, like mainly on radio advertising, and another half of it into digital. So it could be Google advertisement, SEO, as well as Facebook and LinkedIn advertising. So just to state, they are able to clinch really top the notch clients like big corporation MNCs from their digital media, whereas their radio ads wasn't really performing, or they, even though maybe it performed, they didn't have a way in order to track that kind of performance.
mm,
It's very difficult for you to know that, hey, how are people listening into my radio advertisement. But in fact, to me is that if you are doing a radio advertisement, it's also quite stressful because you are paying that $300 plus, right? Even just for that 30 second, and your 30 second have to be great. If it's not great, people won't remember it. You won't even know your company name, and that's a big issue. But with Facebook advertising, you are always able to check back, how many people actually click on my ad, how many people actually commented or engaged with my post, and from those data you are able to craft a better message that suit your audience. So to me, it's like radio is like a hit or miss thing. Like you really hit it, then you'll get that figure that ends up becoming sales. But if it doesn't, then you're just throwing money into the sea, in the ocean. And through Facebook advertising, you have a much better control of your advertising budget. Yeah.
yep. Okay. I think that's very true because upfront it's a lot of money, and I think one of the key things about the difference or really is the calculating of your ROI. How are you going to track, right? And to put a QR code inside a newspaper ad is going to be very expensive. To put a QR code on a radio right now is not possible. Maybe eventually it is with VR and everything. I'm not very sure, but that's something that I think
Right.
call to action is not very it's not there. And also I think at the end of the day we are all very visual creatures, right? So that itself I think says a lot. If you're not able to use 3 colors, 4 colors, or you are limited by colors, I think I chose like three spot color. It was like 15 over 1,000, so I thought I would just choose like the one spot color. 8,000 is something that we might still think that, oh, sounds okay, but actually it's just one color. So yeah, I think that's something to consider. And I think one thing to add is about the differences. For me, I believe we all heard that, oh, this magazine, we have female readers, right? Similarly, for Facebook advertising, social media advertising, you are able to kind of focus on the gender. So like if you know your low-lying fruit are, or rather your customers are female, right? Then you can actually just target female. And a lot of our ads, we do this, although sometimes it does cost quite a bit, cost more. But I think if you talk about your ROI, you talk about how your who will buy, it makes more sense to be more focused in your advertising. Yeah. All right. Thank you. And maybe we'll move to the next question, which is the most effective types of Facebook ads. So there are many types. In fact, if you like to I'll just go to our page shortly to show you the different types of ads. But maybe Kevin can go first and share maybe what is his favorite type of Facebook ad, or what are your top few that you would choose to launch and test for your clients.
Well, I think like there's no like one size fit all for Facebook advertisement. It really had to depend on what are you selling and who are you selling it to. So if in order to find the most effective type of Facebook advertising, we should actually first find answer these two questions. So, but from my own experience, if basically you're selling a services, we always call this thing in so called in the expert industry. So as a service, you need to always brand yourself as an expert. All right. And in terms of being an expert, to me, uh, putting yourself in front of camera works the best because they can see you. They are able to also feel your resolve, and most important, if your message is relevant to their needs and help them to solve their pain points, they are more than likely to be able to trust you and buy from you. So for expert industries, I really feel that video advertisement works the best, and it also leave a lasting impression in the person's mind. So even if the person doesn't buy, it's very obvious they will say, "Hey, I knew that guy that I saw on Facebook ads before," and that is already a win, you know, because it's much easier for you to close the sales when someone already know you, as compared to sorry, what do you do? You know, yeah. So it's very interesting on how Facebook ads can actually help you to brand yourself or even brand your company, right?
Mm.
To be able to help. Yeah, that's just one tip.
Yeah, and I think adding on, like, people knowing you, I think that is very true. Partly because right now a lot of times when people speak to me, they will just say, haven't I seen you somewhere? Have you conducted it for my company? Something like that. So brand awareness very important. Okay, agree. So as I mentioned to you, I wanted to just do a very quick going to our Facebook business page just to show you the different types. Okay, so there's albums, there's photo carousel. Actually, I can't remember whether we have tried for our own, but we recently tried for a client to promote a photo album. It's not a lot of photos, lah, 5, but it's designed for carousel. But we thought that it's actually better because when people click on a carousel, what happens is they are actually brought into a web page link or landing page link or a lead form magnet, right? So we wanted people to enjoy the process of viewing the graphics. So we did a test actually. So it will end in 7 days from yesterday that we launched the ad. But what are your favorites? There are 4 that we can see here. Of course, there's videos. There's also photo, just one photo. These are the different types of ads, right? So which are your favorite, Kevin?
Yeah, I guess like to me, I think I normally prefer going for a photo carousel or a single image. For carousel is really good because you can put like a few benefits in there. You can really split the different things that will make your audience tick, or like in terms like, for example, I have 3 images, right? I can have one image to direct to the cost sensitive audience that say this is cost effective or this will save you money, and then I can have the second carousel image as something that says that maybe it can help you save time, and I can say this will save you 20% of time for those people that want to save time. So I can have different messaging in one ad to make sure that I really hit what the audience are looking for. And it's amazing because you can feed up to 4 to 5 carousel, or you can even do like, for example, this curiosity post that nowadays is getting more and more what you call it, popular, where people actually put a very big headline on the first carousel that says, for example, how to impact your audience.
Yeah.
And then the second carousel will be like a question. Then they will put like the question will be like, have you ever thought what your audience think? And then the third carousel will be, yes, I do. And then only on the fourth or fifth carousel, then you will share a certain kind of value. So you actually bring the audience through a story, from getting them interested to talking about the detail. So by the time they reach the fifth carousel, they are already sold. They're like, wow, this is very interesting. I feel like I have just read a storybook.
Yeah.
So that would actually, lead them to be more curious, or to at least build certain amount of trust before they want to go to the next step with your company or your product or service. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so pictures and carousel, right? Single image and carousel are your favorite. For me, actually at one point we did that was 1 year ago, we did a lot of instant experience, but we realized that because it's only viewable on mobile, it actually does affect when people come to our page via their their laptops or computers, and they can't see it. So we stopped creating that. That also takes a bit of time, right? So one thing about creation is being able to create very quickly, and also being able to test very quickly. Another, type that you can also consider is a video. Although it's not very easy to create a video for your business Facebook ads and your social media pages. But one thing about videos that I personally like a lot is to be able to retarget people who have at least watched like 50% of my video, or if it's a very short video, 25%, right? I think 50% is reasonable enough for a 1 minute video. And I think it's a very valuable because the brand awareness is there, and they just got to know you, and they just saw your ad for 15 seconds. It's very memorable because it's a video, right? So that's one of my other favorite. But of course, not a lot of clients we are able to launch this type of ads, because it does take quite a bit of time to storyboard it, to film it, to edit it. Another very quicker option, I wouldn't say it's the easiest option, is to explore animation videos. So we do have quite a few on our page actually, and they are about 45 seconds. We try to keep it under a minute, and those work very well. In fact, it does very well, such that our cost per click-through is less than 5 cents, if I'm not wrong. Let me show
Wow,
everyone very
that's
quickly.
amazing.
Yeah, this is one of the animation videos that I'm talking about. So this is about our content marketing workshop. So I show you the results here. Okay, this one we spend $30. Usually we try to go for $3 a day for 10 days minimum. So the cost per true play is 1 cent.
Wow.
Yeah, very high engagements. All our animation videos do very well, and this is something that we would like to share with everyone. So if you cannot create videos, look for animation videos, right? Whether is it whiteboard, there are free softwares out there that you can try out. And
Canva.
yeah, Canva, very short animation, right, happening.
Yeah.
So I think those are good start. Like Lumen 5 is another one. If you can just look for, stock images and stock videos to create your videos. I think not too many words, because I think we are penalized, right? We are still penalized for too many words in our, what do you call, ad. Our Facebook ad.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, just now, like the story, like you start with an interesting headline, and then you ask a question, and then you go say you have those inside inside the slideshow as well.
Yeah. So I will show you another one very quickly, which is we did another video. Okay, so this was another one, 29 June. Okay, this is animation. We try to keep it under a minute, right? And this is the results. 1 cent. 1 cent per cost per true play.
Wow.
Yeah. So actually, all these are very good, but you must have a follow-up ad. You must have a graphic or carousel follow-up ad, so that you can retarget them very quickly. to kind of tell them about who you are, what you do, what can they check out, or what can they get out from you. Yeah. So we can move on. Any last things about the most effective types of Facebook ads before we move
Yeah.
on to the next question?
Yeah, man. Yeah, if you guys have any question, feel free to write it in the comments below. We'll definitely get to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us. Do drop a hi and just tell us who you are. What you do. What are some of your struggles with Facebook advertising? We hope to have at least a 15 minutes Q&A shortly. All right. So okay, so do drop a hi. If this video is helpful, do invite your friends in. Do share it on your wall with your friends on your network. Okay, so let's go to the second one then. I think you mentioned Facebook Carousel, one of your favorites ads. One of my favorites also. I only create, actually there's one point of time I only create a carousel post for our Facebook business page, besides our live videos lah. Okay, but just for everyone's sake, okay, I prepared a very simple slide because a lot of people are confused when we say carousel. What is it called? Carousel.
Yeah, I got that question before.
Yeah. Is it something to do with the carousel app? No, it does not. It's quite confusing. I don't know whether who came. I think Carousel came up first, and then Facebook came out with the carousel.
But carousel is actually
Yes,
like basically the horse thing where you go to the theme park and then yeah,
correct.
that's a carousel.
Correct. So people are confused lah. So I prepared this simple screenshot. This is one of our carousel ad. The criteria is this, okay? To have a carousel ad, you must have a website link. That's the most important criteria. If you don't have a website, go and create a Google form URL. Okay, Google form, I just checked it out. I'm not sure whether you checked it out, Kevin. It looks amazing right now. The banner and how the form just stacks up. It looks quite good. Okay, and your graphics must be square, 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels, minimum 2 graphics, maximum 5. Okay, so that's the criteria to be able to create a carousel. And these are one of our favorites. I think Kevin mentioned is also one of his favorites. So maybe Kevin can go first. What are some things about carousel that you would like to share with everybody?
I think carousel, like, yeah, in Facebook right nowadays it gets so complicated because uh uh like basically to me, like, there's few things about carousel, um like carousel is good if, let's say, yeah, you want people to like click on your to actually get instant benefit. They know what they want, and then they move on to the website or a landing page in order to you know know more.
Mm,
But let's say if in terms of a video ad, right, it has a different type of benefit. Video ad has it will leave a stronger impression in the mind of back in the mind of your audience, so that eventually, even if they watch this video, if they watch like 1 minute of this video, if your video is 1 minute or 2 minutes, the moment they finish the video and they want to go to the next step, right, they are already sold. They are already sold. They have a higher trust than those people that just click on the carousel. Reason why is because there's more information in it, and all in a 2 minutes video, and obviously you have more points, or you actually gain more brownie points when people watch your video, especially if it's a good quality one, or some is a video that actually talk to them and let them know that what is their pain point. And yeah, normally a video will actually go through certain kind of testimonial as well. There'll be someone that actually vouch for your service or product. um Again, but carousel post, right, is much more easier to do nowadays.
mm,
And in fact, right now it's not about like carousel versus video. They work hand in hand. Like, my favorite strategy is to first use a longer video to build a lasting impression in the back of your customer mind, and then after that I would use a carousel to share with them more information, give them more value. So to the same person that have already watched the video, they will be highly interested to know what are you doing, or what are you trying to promote, or send them a message. right?
Yep.
So in fact now Carousel is quite interesting is that in certain kind of Facebook ads you can do video carousel. So you can like normally what I like to do is that you put snippets like 15 second, 15 second, 15 second. You split into 4 different videos and then you put them into a carousel format, and then you promote through the face.
That is on Instagram, right?
No, also even on Facebook is also possible, but you need to be using the ad manager. I'm not sure whether you can use the Facebook page function to create a video carousel, because I personally have not done it before.
Mm,
Yeah, so but through normally you see sponsored ads, right? Yeah, it's possible to do a video
mm,
carousel,
mm,
and that's quite like in between,
mm,
and it give you more room to play around
mm.
and to to build just to build that kind of result that you want. And yeah, that's my favorite right now, video carousel. Not really video at all carousel lah, but they work hand in hand
Both
together.
lah, both.
Mm,
Actually, it's true. Whatever that you've mentioned, although carousels attract people. Videos, I mean, we have the saying, right? A picture paints 1,000 words. So a video, I think online is like someone tweeted or someone actually reported like it's a worth 1,000,000 words. So if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1,000,000 words. So I think at the end of the day, it's about helping yourself be able to communicate with in very short videos. So if your videos are very long, they're still not going to do very well. So most of our videos that do very well are those that are under a minute, and also mostly animation, or unless in our videos we really are very concise and we edit it very chop and attractive manner. Yeah, so I think one of the quickest way, if you don't know Facebook Ad Manager, you can go to Instagram, and what you can do is you must preload the videos that you have edited, your photos into your phone, and you can actually post and promote from your Instagram business account. Okay, anything about promotion, advertising, you can only do it on your business account, Facebook business, and also Instagram business. But you can create a business page under your name. Okay, so don't be confused by that. You can actually do that. All right. So okay, great. So that's some insights, and I think, as mentioned, I think both of us can agree that both are very useful. Both, the carousel and also the videos are very useful. And if possible, try to create like a mixture of carousel and video. I think that would be very attractive and very different, right? Because a lot of people are just creating carousels or just video only. So if you do things differently, people tend to pay attention, and and when people pay attention and they engage and they stay engaged, that's when the cost of advertising for you is going to be much cheaper. Okay, much cheaper. All right, so any last words to add on this? Otherwise, actually we are quite fast. Actually, the next point is really Q&A.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about all. But um, if I like to share, is really if you're starting out and you want to try Facebook advertising, there's actually a very interesting feature that, besides like just talking about uh what actually works best for your company, is just simply going to Google and search for this thing called Facebook Ad Library. And in Facebook Ad Library, you are able to search out your competitors' ads. And through that, right, I always take note in terms of there's one KPI is the date they started running the advertisement. All right. So if
Why is
let's
that important?
the reason why that is important is because you will know that if the ads is working well or not. If the ads doesn't work well, right, next day you shut
Wouldn't
off
run it,
already.
they wouldn't run it. Mm.
Yeah, if but let's say it's running for like 6 months, like it's obviously is doing something good. Otherwise, they won't run it in 6 months. They probably shut it off and then they try something else, you know. So to me, that is a indicate. That's a very strong indicator if
True.
the ads actually work for their company as well. But I'm not trying to say that all you need to do is just go to Facebook library, drag a ad out, and then copy some stuff and and then it will work. You know, it to be honest is marketing is not that simple. Yeah, you really have to be on the ground to understand who you're selling to and what they want. Yeah, just to solve the fundamental problem before all these can actually work for you. So yeah, you need to have a voice for your own as well. But you can try here. Yeah, yeah, Charmaine, if you click on search all, that will be better.
Okay.
Yeah, that will be better. Yeah, let's say
Try
if you search
capital.
for, yeah, capital land.
No ads. They are not running
Yeah,
any ads.
correct. And maybe you can try secret lab, because secret lab is like
Care, right?
it's like a work from home thing. Everybody is buying secret lab. It's quite crazy. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
So
they have many ads.
yeah, and
So
if you
one of
can,
the things you mentioned is the when did they start it, right? So most of these are
yeah.
new. I think they just promote all their new posts.
Yeah, correct. Previously, I think there's different posts as well. Maybe they just refresh certain. But if you go down, maybe you can see more. There's like really a lot more, right?
This one is from February 27 February 2020.
Yeah, you know, it should be working. It's a single post. Of course they have their branding, right? So, it's much different. Like, you know, like people kind of like they would die to have a secret lab for their birthday. You know, if you want like a wonderful gift for your friend, like, you know, or your boyfriend, like whatever. Like if you just buy someone a secret lab, they're like, wow, this is amazing. They will basically love you like 3,000 if you buy them a secret lab chair.
And
Like
this is something
yeah,
to learn from, right? Because I think at the end of the day, they have very good copywriting. One thing I noticed is also that they actually did this, I think, installment plan. So own a secret lab chair from 143 per month. That's probably also one of the reasons why. 3 interest month free. So 3 months installment.
yeah, correct. So as you can see, right, other there they talk about 3 months installment,
Hmm.
but not all posts they talk about 3 months
Yes.
installment. Then some posts, right, they talk about other things like, oh, this is a soft chair for you,
Yeah.
because some people that are price sensitive, they might look at the 3 months installment, or maybe those people are already sold, but they just don't have enough cash, so they run the ad to those people that maybe probably already add to cart, you know,
Yes.
but
Different,
never check
different,
out.
yeah. Different activities. So the specifics of this type of ads can be very, very specific, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see, you see, premium leather and different ads, different copies and stuff like that. Basically, to feed different like online
Audience.
behaviors as well
Yeah.
as audience.
And also a review. So like these are social proof. This is one of the best chairs from Titan. Okay. So these are this is the model Secret Lab Titan review from Windows
Yeah,
Central.
yeah, it's
Okay.
quite crazy.
And just a shout out if you like to learn more. Actually, I recently did a video on how to stop your competitor Facebook ads. I think the whole idea is to help us understand that there are good ads, and if you have seen it, just take a screenshot, remember the name, come to the Facebook ad library and key in the company name. It should come up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if this is a financial topic, I'll probably like maybe talk a bit of like, you know, why you shouldn't own a secret lab chair. Because it will give you more backache. You know, because why? Because you spend that money like $600 around there to buy a chair, and then now you have to work another additional 2 hours or additional one more day for this month to cover back the cost. You
So
know,
I
as
think, yeah, I think those are things that I think are very interesting in terms of social media ads. Whether it's Facebook or Instagram, there are these things that are. I think they came out with this to be transparent of the ads that companies are running. So yeah, that's an interesting tool that is available. So do check it out. We'll add the link in the description in the comments as well later, right after this live video. But just before we take Q&A, just wanted to talk a little bit about the different types of video formats available. So there are slideshow videos where you can upload 3 to 10 images on Facebook, and you can ask Facebook to actually create it into a video for you. You can upload your own music, and what you can do is also you can actually add a poll. Okay, that's one of the things that I like about normal videos. You can add a poll inside the video as you are posting up, and then once you post up, you can promote it and see how people respond. The only thing is the screen size lah. So you can see like, yes, I've tried before, no, I have not tried before. You have to keep it short because on mobile actually sometimes the words cannot be seen, so it's just yes or no. So your first few words are very important. And what about live videos? What do you think of live videos, Kevin? Either normal videos or live videos. Personally, I like live videos, partly because it's very quick to create and it gives a push notification to our followers. What about you? What about you?
Well, in the creator side, I felt that live videos is definitely worthwhile because, uh, like it really I think nowadays, like, if your audience are like on Facebook, they are very interested to watch live videos. Uh, I have a friend who did a live stream for this company called papapetstore.com. Yeah,
In Singapore?
and in Singapore, and they did a donation drive, and it like for every like pet food, dog food that you buy from them, then they will donate like £5 of dog food to a charity for dogs, I guess. Then, so I overheard that it went amazing, and they probably earn like five figures like of sales just from that live stream itself. So I'm sure that there are a lot of other people that are doing like those live bidding and live selling. So even you look at Jack Neo and the Mai Yuke, right? They do live videos, and yeah, they are
But it's
crazy,
effective for them, it's very effective for them. And in fact, a lot of them, they actually prefer to
Yeah,
sell it on live.
I think Mai Yuke within another 6 months, he probably reached like seven figures. It is no longer just a six-figure for him, or maybe he already crossed seven figures already. He probably crossed seven figures, I guess. Because if one live stream, if you can do like 50K, you just need to do 20 live stream, right, to earn $1 million. So he's probably already way above that kind of sales volume. So yeah, give it a try.
Live videos, give it a try, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you think that it's very difficult, right? Actually, to go live directly on Facebook is quite easy. All you need to do is just click on the live button. You see like the post when you want to type something. Once you click on that, it pops up and there's a live button. Click on that and it goes live. The problem is it shoots either yourself or the screen only. So if you want like dual, like what we are doing here, we are using Zoom. So we're using Zoom so that we can have our face as well as just changing up our slides using the Zoom function. So that's I think eventually they would probably build the capacity up. I'm sure. Uh, as Facebook, as recently I see a lot of changes on Facebook. Do you know that they changed the theme and everything? And now I think it looks much nicer. I like the new Facebook, but it probably takes a while for others who are very new. They don't log on daily to get used to it. Yeah. So yeah. Any last points, Kevin, before we take everyone's Q&A?
Yeah, I think that's all for today. Yeah.
Yeah, if you have any questions, do drop it below. I do see some comments, and thank you so much, Ryan, for sharing the live feed, and thank you, Stacy, for joining us. Kevin as well, Calvin, and yeah, any questions that you have for either Kevin or myself with regards to Facebook advertising or any points that we actually just made today, do feel free to ask them in the comment section so that we can actually answer them. And hopefully, I think it was also something that other people would be curious about. But stay tuned. We do have another video. Okay, another video that we'll be scheduling live as a live video on our Facebook, which is the topic is actually how to market any product or service on Facebook. Okay, so this is the outline. I think we kept 30 minutes, but 15 minutes Q&A as well, similar to this format today. And if you're interested, okay, do follow, stay tuned. click the notification so that when we go live, you receive it. And before, since there's no questions, I don't think I see any questions on the
Comment.
page. Yeah, on the comments as well. I don't think I see any. So before we end, okay, if there are no other questions, I'll just like to share a story about this guy. I'm not sure whether I shared it with you before, Kevin, about the Wright brothers. Have I shared it with
Yeah.
you before? I shared it with
No,
you
no, I
before,
haven't.
right?
I
Oh,
haven't.
no, I haven't. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I used to share this in my class. Recently, I took it out. I think I used to share in 2016 and 17. So what is the digital advertising lesson to learn from the Wright brothers? Okay, there's this guy called Samuel Langley, and Samuel Langley is someone who was also in the midst of inventing aeroplanes. Okay, so probably not a lot of people has actually heard about him, but he is the guy who gets all the government grants in the 1800s, okay, in the late 1800s. And he got the grant was equivalent to, it was 50,000 and 20,000 then. It's equivalent to today's $1 million. But he was never successful. Okay, so he got the grant
Wow.
in 1986, 1898. Okay, 1898, two grants, and he was never successful in his invention because he used this catapult format, meaning that he wanted to catapult that plane out so that it can fly. So he thinks that the stronger the catapult is, the further you can fly. Okay, but the Wright brothers has a different approach. The Wright brothers actually wanted to solve the flying problem, so they always take their airplane up to the mountains and then they fly down. And the further they can glide and the safer they can actually land, that is the plane where they added the propellers. And that's why the Wright brothers have actually invented the airplane, but eventually they sold their business away due to some feud in the, between the brothers lah. But generally, I think this is the story and the lesson behind it. When you are creating ads, just test it, and if it works, then you continue putting money in it. And what is a good advertising ad spend to test? What do you think, Kevin? What is a good advertising ad spend to start with?
Well, I guess that depends to of like what you're selling and how much it's worth. If you're selling something that is like $5,000, you don't expect to spend $5 and say, oh, it doesn't work for me.
Mm.
So the kind of data you get from spending $5 is probably too minute to really make a difference. It's like throwing a sand in the desert. you know so it really relevant to what is your risk appetite and how much effort you actually put into making that ad. you know so there's a difference between like you doing the ad and us as a marketer doing the ad, because the main difference is we have probably like years of experience and we do this on a day-to-day basis. But if you're just trying out and you're starting out on your own, I would say don't expect results from spending that $5 or $10. Even to pick up a skill, you probably have to pay $500 for a 1 day course. Uh, right. So it depends on really how much you're willing to risk, but um, don't focus on how much you should spend. Focus on how do you. There's one marketing term that I recently learned that I really feel is probably the best thing. Like learn how to make people love you,
Learn
and that's
how
what.
to make people love you.
Yeah, and that is what marketing is about. So if you make ads that people love and it create is impactful, it give value or is entertaining, or it solves a problem, eventually you'll know that even though your ad is not doing well, you're on the right direction and you can improve on it. Maybe $5 to $10 a day, depending on how much you're earning. I would say 5 to 10% of your of if you're a company would be a good marketing budget. Of course, you have to incorporate the design costs and every and video costs if you're doing videos to it. Yeah. But based on percentage, I guess that's the amount that I felt is comfortable to learn. 5 to 10%. Yeah.
$5 to $10, right, per day?
$10 or I based on percentage lah. So
or
if you,
percentage?
yeah, if you ask me, let's say like your target revenue is $1 million, and then you should have a set aside a ad budget of, let's say, a 100K, right? Not it's not it depends on industries as well, but it's to me it makes sense. They'll use a company and say, hey Kevin, I want to push $1.4 million worth of goods. And then so I write that proposal, and we send out a proposal of like basically 5 digits. It's around like 10,000 to $15,000. And that is because their marketing goal is to sell 1.4 million worth of goods, you know?
Yeah,
And then they come to me and say, wow, like they are shocked at the kind of price that they pay, because probably they haven't tried out Facebook marketing before. They don't know if it works,
yeah.
you know. But first think about where you want to go, how, and then think about how much you should spend, you know.
But what's a like I think I agree with where you're coming from. Like clients will ask me like, hey, how much should I spend? I always say, hey, what do you think if, let's say, every time you put in $2 into a vending machine and you can actually get $4 back, how much will you put into that vending machine? Right. So but of course at the end of the day they still need to know a ballpark to kind of propose to their management, get it approved, and
Mm.
award the project, right? So what is a reasonable
uh,
start? To
us
to be
mm,
honest, I think for someone who really, of course, wants to push up 1.4 million to really get results, is not a very balanced. So that's a good way to explain. But I think most of us, we are probably small business owners who just wanted to just increase our sales a little bit. So let's say the person, okay, the small business owner is making like 30,000 to 40,000 a year. Um,
okay.
Average out 2,500 to about how much is
Okay.
three
I'll
thousand?
say I'll say
2,500
for a
per month?
small business owners, right, mainly solopreneurs, right,
Yeah,
uh their first objective, right, should not be to find success. You know, it's like trying to find success overnight, or trying to find a stock that can give you like 10 to 20 times the amount of money you put in within like 1 day or 1 month. It's realistically not possible, you know. For
yeah,
Netflix, AMD, Tesla, even Tesla, it took 8 years to go out from a $35 stock to a $2,000 stock. So it's not an overnight thing. Tesla is not an overnight thing. They have actually been losing $1 billion for the past 8 years on a year-to-year basis in order to achieve the kind of prices they are at now.
mm,
So if your objective is to find success with Facebook marketing, to find you, it's not about how much you should spend, it's about you should start now. Regardless, if you only have a $50 budget per month, it's okay. You just do an ad and then you just set it as $50, means $1 a day. And then you just don't look at it. And then one month later you come back and then you see my $50, right? Okay, what is the result I get? And then you try to learn from it, and then you improve it the second month with maybe to $60 or $70 until you are really confident with your money, right? Then you just put like, $500 or $1,000 in it, or even $10,000. So it really based on what level you at with Facebook marketing. And if you are not at a confident level where you can come up with good designs or good messaging, good advertorials, then it's better to leave your money in a bank or somewhere else, and use a very small amount to learn. In Chinese, right, we young at time, right, we every time say play mahjong, right. They say the same thing. What they always tell me, what, you need to pay to learn, right? You need to 交学费 嘛.
yeah.
So that's how they cheat our money. Yeah, all the auntie and uncle, we go inside, young people, and then we play mahjong, and then stuff like that. But it's exactly the same thing. We need to have a winning mentality in order uh to to learn a skill or to make money. We cannot just say that we want to make money, but we are not willing to part away with our money.
Mm.
But it's more on learning, focus on learning, but not on winning. Because eventually, when you learn, eventually you will win.
Some clients just don't want to learn. They just want to, that's why
Uh,
they hire agencies to manage it. So let's say the company, okay lah, two-person running the company earns about 100K per year.
100K per
What would
year. Okay.
100K lah, okay. So two-person run the company. Small company, maybe consultancy or
Mm,
company 100K per year. So
mm,
they want to get more clients, more corporate clients in for their consultancy firm to do a bit more consultancy projects. I mean, we understand your
uh,
analogy, lah, right?
yeah.
But what is a good a
As a,
point
if you
where
are looking out,
it's
if you
not
are
too
looking,
little, you don't get any results, but it's something where hey, you get inquiries and it's from this company, and although
yeah,
you couldn't close it, but there were inquiries. So if there was something that you fixed, you could have probably
yes.
got it right.
Correct. I would say it depends on your timeline. You know,
Mm,
if there's a lot of consultancy or there's a lot of small businesses, right, where
mm,
I really feel quite sad that I couldn't really help. The reason why is because they have to a short timeline. Like, hey Kevin, can you help me do Facebook ads? Yeah. So when do you need to see results? Next week. Or I'm looking to get started. 2 weeks later, and I need that sales to come in. If not, my company will suffer. So
yep.
they are not at the kind of financial status, right? Or they don't even have the capability because they are like trying to fight the fire. That is not a very good time to start. I would say, try to find ways
Be
in order
early,
to.
be early. Do it when you don't really need it, right?
Yeah,
When you
correct,
don't
correct.
really need
And
it.
and
Yeah.
if you are looking for agency, right, don't try to pay peanuts. Because when they say you pay peanuts, you get monkeys, right? And how much effort is that guy really putting in to try to make things work for you? If you're gonna spend $200, right? Just to pay a guy to do Facebook ads for you, how much clients does he have to serve realistically, right, in order to earn a decent living?
Yeah, I
So
think that's one consideration to have. Like if this guy is only going to charge you $200 or $500, if this guy wants to earn like 4,000 a month, he has to find 20 clients. How much time does he have for you? But I think another perspective really to get started, not so much of how much you pay an agency, but how much they have to kind of budget
mm,
from the advertising point of view.
correct.
I would say
Yeah,
a
so
good start would be a $5 to $10 per day to because you need to test
mm,
ads, like, and to test ads you need at least $3, and to run at least a week, 7 to 14 days. That's the recommended time frame
mm,
for any ads, so that you don't just favor any day of the week, and you get the full week's performance. So 10 days is always recommended rather than 7 days. 14 days is of course top recommended. And if it's $3 a day, you test 2 ads, that's about $6 a day. If you test 3 ads, that's about $9 a day. So that's the mentality. I would say mentality and approach behind budgeting. And if you are someone who wants to test your own ads, I think at the end of the day, it's really your graphics. And if you cannot get it right, then and start testing, then you just learn from your mistake lah. Like what Kevin have said lah. Okay, so but anything else there? I think I just wanted to add that point in, because I think at the end of the day, many people would be struggling to start, but we hope that you get started, because it's such an amazing platform to get brand awareness out there. But of course, the best thing is if you do it on your own, you are bound to make the same mistakes as what we did. So we are learning from our own mistakes, and that's why we don't make the same mistakes as agencies. But some agencies do make certain mistakes as well. But that being said, I think I would leave my ending with you as use what we call lead magnet landing pages, or even use Google Forms, but don't make it like something that is trapping, or you don't provide enough information. Nowadays, Google Forms, you can embed YouTube videos, you can add images, you can add text, you can add different form fields, drop down check boxes. Amazing, I think, for someone who do not know how to code, do not know how to build a website, a landing page. I think Google Forms are a great start. Okay,
yeah.
and if you don't have a company email, don't worry, just create a Gmail, use a Google Form. It's a great start to generate leads, and then you can headache about email marketing and everything later. You can always do a call follow up, right?
Yep.
All right. So we are actually at 1 hour, 8:45. So any last words, Kevin, before we end today's session about Facebook Advertising 101? But very good points that we have covered today. Any
Yeah, I
last
think
words? Mm.
I think I have said a lot, like, and quite a wonderful session today. Like, yeah. So once again, thank you everybody for coming in and spending your evening with
Yeah,
us.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it's really amazing to have for having you guys here. And also, yeah, thanks Charmaine for inviting me to
Yeah.
actually share my experience with Facebook marketing. And I hope, this message can actually spread across and help more people.
Yes, I think that's something that we are also trying to do and invite people who have been, running their own business, especially social media advertising, Facebook, Instagram, right? So just a last shout out before we end. All right, we have another video coming up, and Kevin and myself would be sharing on this topic called how to market any products or service on Facebook. So stay tuned, follow, and subscribe. It will be scheduled as a video on our page, and sometime today is Wednesday, sometime next week on Monday or Tuesday. So look out for it.